Ah, okay.
Yeah?
No, that's it. Just
Oh, okay.
was going to say something, immediately left my fucking head.
You know, maybe the problem is that when I'm checking to see if, no, that can't be it. When I'm checking to see if stream's fucked up, the only way I can do it is by opening the stream on my phone, which certainly doesn't help with the internet issue if that's what's happening. Because I'm opening another feed on my internet. Oh, who are you people? Actually, real quick, we're gonna turn this off. I'm just going to, or did I already uncap? What the fuck is any of this? RAR, husband Minecraft time, 18 plus exclamation Galaxy Discord.
I should have whoever typed that out beaten with a hammer.
Is it in content, community? Is it under monetization? Is it under viewer rewards? I think it's under viewer rewards. Yeah, power ups and channel points. Manage.
Like how you're looking at this on stream.
I've turned it off on stream. It's just a black screen right now, but that's because it's like the first few minutes. Okay, I did remove the limit for redemptions, but it is still limited to one person per stream. So like you can only I no one person is gonna get to use up like all of the different things. It's you get one per stream, and 30 minutes to allow up to allow us to do other things.
Well,
Good. I was just making sure that was set correctly before we started because I don't want this to end up being a thing where Ridge, since he gets priority from being in VC, always gets one SCP reading in, and so we just get one from chat every single time.
do we just have a different one that's not for Ridge?
Ridge gets
Can you
his
set it
own
so that there's one that
specific
mods
one.
can't toggle?
I think I'm gonna go ahead and start reading now.
Yeah.
Alright. Everyone in
All
chat,
right.
let me know if you immediately notice any issues with lag or anything whatsoever on stream. I'm testing some stuff out. Alright. Item number, SCP-185. Object class, safe. Euclid class considered after Incident 185-1. See Document 185-1 for details. Special containment procedures. SCP-185 is to be kept in a soundproof room with noise-filtering microphones for monitoring purposes. Standard ear guard Standard guard procedures are to be used for this object. Ear protection must be worn by all occupants in the chamber, excluding test subjects.
Hang on. So you seem a little bit quiet on stream.
Why do I sound a little quiet on stream? I literally haven't changed anything with my audio. There I was being quiet, but I can move my mic a little closer like this. How does that sound?
That's a little better.
Alright,
Hard
cool.
to tell. Like I'm
I
not
can try
sure
talking directly
how loud.
to the mic a little bit more. It shouldn't be any more quiet. I haven't changed any, like...
No, I'm not sure if it's actually quiet on stream or if that's just a me thing with my settings.
Alright. Description. SCP-185 appears to be a Russian... Verge, can you assist me here? How do I...
Let me see here.
R105M? Is that just it?
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Radio used during the Cold War, except that it is a crudely added keypad and LCD screen. The object can receive most radio transmissions, including encrypted signals. Attempts to determine how it can break even the strongest of encryptions have so far been fruitless. SCP-185 has a very long range, surpassing even modern radio equipment. It functions as a normal radio until input is added via the keypad. It seems that if a year is entered into the keypad, the radio will receive transmissions from a specified era, depending on if the messages were being broadcast on the sent frequency. The function was discovered when, upon entering the random number of 1939, Neville Chamberlain was heard declaring war on Germany. The possibility of experimenting with dates and times has been noted and is being researched. The possibility of entering future dates is being discussed. It has yet to be deciphered or decided whether the benefits outweigh the risk of causing a time paradox on the inside The radio appears to be unaltered, and the keypad is contained in a box affixed to the side of the radio. Researchers cannot access the keypad due to the box being made from a metal that is yet to be identified. It cannot be cut, and there are no determinable ways to disassemble it. Dang, it's on cooldown. Yeah, it's like a 30-minute cooldown so that we don't just get, like, spammed by them. But it is only, like, you only get one per stream. So you're not going to be beaten out by the same person every single time. It'll be at the very least a different person. You have a really good one. I believe it. Addendum. Document 185-1. Incident 1. During a test, the year was set to negative 13 billion during the time the universe was suspected to have been created. Sound volumes emitted by the object could not be measured with standard equipment. Survivors further from the incident reported rumbling sounds similar to recorded radio emissions from the sun. All those within 200 meters of the epicenter died of asphyxiation. Sound waves had ruptured capillaries in the lungs. Autopsy reports indicate that the victims essentially drowned in their own blood. The device failed to operate for some time after that incident, and it was found that the device's internal battery pack had failed. Replacing it restored functionality. It was noted that the LCD screen was still lit, suggesting that the device has no special power aside from the anomalous box. The sound waves have also rendered SCP redacted inoperable, leading to the reclassification of said SCP as neutralized. The radio seems to have received no damage. Structural damages have been reported on site, and a site had to be shut down for repairs. Or no, a section had to be shut down for repairs. That's my bad. Testing has been postponed until further notice. Dr. Redacted. Any personnel caught using the object to listen to music on duty will be disciplined. Of course. Object
No
request.
Rockefeller.
No Nightcore Rockefeller Street on the SCP radio.
Damn it!
Object request. Mobile Task Force Delta 5 is requesting to use SCP-185 to aid their mission of tracking down objects before our arrivals. Task Force believes Iranians have important information and wish to intercept their transmissions. Request accepted. I'll be honest, I don't think that verifies it being switched over to Euclid. Again, it's how easily is it contained, not how dangerous could it be. Isn't that accurate?
I mean, I thought it was also based off of how well understood the object was. It was a combination of the two.
I mean, maybe.
It's like, if something is able to be contained easily, sure, that's one thing. But if you don't fully, well, fully in quotations, understand it, then like, who knows if it could just like cause a massive breach in security.
I don't know why the
I don't
screen
know.
was glaringly bright there for a moment, but...
I don't know. Euclid's always kind of been a little wobbly with its rulings, but not like overly weird.
This is what Ridge has recommended. Oh, it is a piece of work. Should I take this one as well?
A piece of work is a hell of a statement. Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, cool. You ordered pizza and it's supposed to be here in 5 minutes, but it hasn't even left the store. Is the store 5 minutes away? Probably not. Item number SCP-738. Object class Keter. Special containment procedures. SCP-738 is to be kept in 3 linked sealed chambers with armed guards and a remote detonation... Why can't I read today? And a remote detonation system at all times, as well as constant full audio-visual surveillance. Due to the variety and strength of observed interactions with SCP-738 and the unknown limits of SCP-738, the following procedures are to be strictly followed. When SCP-738 is not in use, its components must be kept one to each chamber. Mechanical means built into the containment area are to be used to assemble and disassemble SCP-738. Should mechanical assembly means fail, then testing is to be cancelled until an engineer fitted with an explosive collar can be sent in to repair the systems. Said engineer is to be detonated upon any attempt to interact with any component of SCP-738. We're about to get an ad break, but I can get a few sentences in before that. Should mechanical disassembly fail, preset shaped charges shall be used to disassemble SCP-738. The system should be then repaired and reset by a single engineer fitted with an explosive collar. All D-Class personnel used to test the device must be mildly intellectually disabled or of comparably impaired cognitive function, and must be fitted with an explosive collar. You've said that like 4 times now. We get that they need the fucking pressure collar, alright?
It's letting go. Fuckhead.
This is in order to prevent them from learning too much about SCP-738 and possibly using SCP-738 in a way that is detrimental to the Foundation. Class D personnel with IQs over 60 and all other personnel are not allowed into the room containing SCP-738. Class D personnel are allowed into the room containing SCP-738 for experimentation only and are to be provided with continual instruction by research personnel.
Over 60 IQ, and you're not allowed to be in there.
You gotta
If
be
you
dumb as a rock or you can get into this room.
if you weren't given a lobotomy in the 60s, get the hell out.
You've got to have a mild degree of lead poisoning to get through this.
Mild. I think that qualifies most people in his fucking state.
That's fair.
Country.
Alright, ad break should be hitting now. I really wish that it would happen immediately after it gives me a time. It gives me a 1-minute timer and then disappears for like another minute and then it starts. Why give me the timer if the ad break isn't going to start after the timer?
But no, Helix, 60 IQ is for the sophisticated among us, those who drink pain out of wine glasses.
Yes.
Or the bucket if they're particularly parched.
I'm just picturing that one
Yeah,
grandpa.
exactly.
I'm picturing that one grandpa who ate paint thinking it was
Yeah.
yogurt.
So yeah, you could go in. Off you go.
Probably not. Description. SCP-738 consists of 3 components. A matched set of mahogany furniture including one desk, currently labeled SCP-738-1, one straight-backed chair, currently labeled SCP-38. I'm just going to start shortening it. I'm looking forward at the amount of times I have to say 738. I'm getting a headache.
-1, -2, -3. Easy.
Yeah. SCP-3 resting behind SCP-2. Did I skip? I skipped. My bad. Okay, chair currently labeled SCP-2. And one ornate throne-styled office chair labeled -3. With brass embellishments and royal purple velvet padding. The effect begins when a sentient entity sits in -2 in front of -1 with -3 resting behind -2. Cameras show -3 moving during the effect, frequently leaning back into a relaxed state as well as moving closer to or further away from -2. Occasionally, -3 is moved in front of -2. Furthermore, cameras show papers and folders containing papers leaving -1's drawers. The papers are made of parchment. The papers are made of paper, by the way. If you, just to be clear, they're not made of human skin.
I was gonna say, as opposed to like human skin, for
they're not made
instance.
of leaves. They're made of parchment. The chair was made out of wood, by the way.
I mean,
I'm surprised after the
like, if
next
they had
sentence it says a
specified it
quill
was-
and pen. What kind of feather is it? Why don't you tell me that? But you'll tell me that the paper is made of parchment.
Okay, Helix, you're getting a bit into the woods. Like, if I understand, I have a bit of an issue with the sentence there about parchment. If they had specified the papers have been confirmed to be made of normal parchment, that's fine. But just saying the papers are made of parchment, yeah, I understand why you have a bit of an issue with that.
God. A quill pen and a bottle of ink emerge from the long drawer. The pen will write on the parchment.
Huge.
Audio recorders record. They do that.
Holy shit. I think this one needs a second draft, but...
No. distorted voice speaking. This voice will make offers and promises, attempting to tempt the occupant of 2. Meaning has been extracted from the spoken voice.
Yes, that's typically
What?
what one uses a voice for.
What? Meaning has been extracted from the spoken voice. No, it's just gibberish. If in this time the entity sitting in -2 makes a request, then the tempting and offers will cease. There will be a pause and a price will be stated. This can be bargained with, however, the voice will insist on other prices of equal value. Occasionally, when a request is made, the voice will respond by telling the requester that they do not want the object enough, or that they are obviously requesting the object for someone else to get around paying full price. In which case, the request is not fulfilled. This occurs most frequently for requests that can affect other people or can transfer possession. Accepting the deal causes the agreed upon wish or command to be fulfilled to the letter, but not past the letter. Furthermore, it will cause the occurrences. It's a fucking monkey's paw. Furthermore, it will cause the occurrences stated in the price to be paid. The entity has actively stated that the occurrences in the price are intended to cause an amount of emotional and or physical pain equal to the amount that the requester desires with what they request. How parity is calculated is at present unknown. The price has also been stated to be independent of any pain caused by fulfilling the request. See the test log for examples of prices paid and requests made. Is this that one Hunter x Hunter character?
I think
What?
this is just the contextual deal with the devil.
Yeah. What's the Hunter x Hunter character? Aluka. This is Aluka from Hunter x Hunter. As a final note, personnel in the chair have reported seeing an entity sitting in -3. However, all attempts to observe this entity when not seated in -2 have failed, and further descriptions of the entity are inconsistent between sessions, even with multiple sessions in the same person. When asked about this, the entity claims to be the same entity each time. Some frequent descriptions of the entity include seductive and charming. Sessions with the same person that are close in time report similar or identical entity appearances. Sessions with different people that are close in time report different entities' appearances. Descriptions of the voice do not match the voice recorded on the equipment. Addendum -1 History 738 was recovered from the office of Redacted, a Catholic cardinal after his death on Redacted. He had received it as a gift from the Pope for extraordinary services from the Vatican archives. The Foundation became aware of 738 after Redacted, with Redacted dead and his will contested in the aftermath of the event. Foundation personnel acquired the desk. Foundation agents in the Vatican reported recovering some of the documents surrounding 738. Can you imagine being an undercover agent in the Vatican?
Yeah.
Knowing full well, God might actually just be real and he's, in containment.
Might, in quotations.
They've got him in a box, but he, sometimes slips out to grab a burger from McDonald's, Alright.
Well, you know for a fact he's a false god that if he went to fucking Mickey D's.
-2. Addendum 2. Test results. Test 1. Researcher sits in -2 and waits. Results. Researcher reports several attempts made to coerce him into a deal, with deals including love of the women he wants, an object that would make him a well-respected researcher, and the granting of O5 status. Startled, the researcher leaves -2, leaves room. Really glad they had to put that he left twice. Recordings follow statements provided. Researcher reports disappearance of the entity, followed by return of pen and paper and folders to drawers. Using cameras, speed of object returned clock at over 120 milliseconds. No, it's 100. Is it 120 meters per second? I think.
Is there a slash in between the two?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's meters per second.
Yeah, that's my bad. Researcher reports seeing a man in a red and gold business suit. Test 2. D-class personnel sat on -2. Analysis performed upon papers and documents. Results. Spectral analysis has confirmed that the parchment is human skin.
Wow.
So why wouldn't it be? Literally, why wouldn't it be human skin? The feather in the the feather in the quill pen comes from an unidentified bird. Well, what's the point? I wanted to know what bird it came from. God damn it!
Bored.
Subject offered freedom. Is told that the price is the death of his best friend. D-Class laughed and agreed, then vanished. D-Class was recaptured 5 hours later. Documents written in English. D-Class involved in test reported seeing a beautiful and seductive woman, of course. D-Class personnel, non-native English speaker. Sits in -2. Results. Papers written in D-Class's native language, as is spoken communication. D-Class offered the power to never be held in a cell again. Price is stated to be the memories of D-Class's mother. D-Class accepts offer. After acceptance, data expunged, resulting in the deaths of 12 guards and D-Class. Test 4.
Wow.
Personnel D-Class. Dyslexic and seriously intellectually disabled. Sits in -2. Results. The language on the parchment appeared to be crude pictograms representing the deal, though some words in English were represented in the parchment. In general, the English was unrelated to the pictures they were under and frequently insulted the class's intelligence, and state that the entity is uncertain of how much this D-Class understands. D-Class was offered a sloppy Joe. Price was stated to be Mopsy, a toy that D-Class had been allowed to smuggle into the Foundation. D-Class accepted and food was materialized upon the desk, along with antique silverware, fine china plate, and crystal glass sippy cup with wine-colored grape juice.
So grape juice.
D-Class shows great distress upon discovering that Mopsy was missing after finishing his— No! Mopsy!
Ah!
I'll get you for this, Satan. D-Class
I'll chase
reports
you to the
seeing
end
a
of your
large
earth.
pink rabbit. Of course. After deal was complete and D-Class left chair, recorders picked up a sigh. Voice print of sigh does not match D-Class's voice.
God fucking damn it.
Just making intellectually stunted people make deals with the devil for like
Well, I mean,
sloppy
yeah, if it's gonna be so
joes.
picky.
Test 4, follow-up. D-Class issued a toy exactly identical to Mopsy. Result. As soon as D-Class named the toy Mopsy, it vanished. D-Class showed great emotional distress. The devil's like, fuck you. Give me that toy.
You're not getting that shit back.
I do like the idea that he had to retroactively go back and alter the deal. No. Anything you deem to be Mopsy is mine. Fuck you. I'm not getting one-upped by a fucking clown.
Test 5, destruction testing. Result, data expunged. Explosive, fire, gun, mechanical wood chipper, all fail. Direct
What
attack
about
upon
analog
desk.
wood chipper?
Kill you. Direct attack upon desk with axe leaves a single gash with depth of 3 millimeters and results in redacted, as well as death of attacking personnel.
Huge.
Gash remains in desk. Video logs show gash healing at a rate of approximately 1. I have
What is
no
that?
idea what unit. That's a really small measurement per day.
I've seen that, but I don't remember.
Yeah. Test 6. Researcher sits in -2. Asks, what are you? Result. Entity taking the appearance of a large snake states, I'm sorry, it's against policy to divulge personal details, but may I interest you in redacted? Researcher stood from chair, shaking and ending the session. Researcher was then placed in Mental Institution 5, awaiting review due to information revealed by offer. Test 7. Sheldon Katz.
Esquire.
I don't know what that means.
Ridge.
Ridge, what does Esquire mean? Thank you, Ridge.
Yeah,
What does a squire mean?
it's a prestigious title for a lawyer,
Oh,
or
okay.
alternatively, an attendant to a knight if
Hold
you're in
on.
England.
So probably a British person. You know, because every one of them is a knight there for some reason.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mom came in and brought me tacos.
How dare
Congratulations.
she?
Alright. I'm gonna finish this off and then I'll leave the next one to Mord.
Yeah.
Alright. Senior counsel with the Foundation's legal department. Result. At commencement of test, Mr. Cat presented the entity with a notarized apostilled affidavit stating that
Affidavit.
he was God, that word made me incapable of reading simpler words.
Want me to just take over now?
Participating in the test on his own behalf and not as an agent for the Foundation. Approximately 41 hours after the commencement of the test, Mr. Katz lapsed into unconsciousness due to exhaustion. Mr. Katz described the appearance of the entity as identical to his first-year contract professor from law school, but he declined to describe the nature of the offer that had been made. He reported that just prior to his blacking out, he had been in the midst of negotiating a precise technical definition of the word shall. Katz stated that the current working draft of the agreement that he and the entity had been drafting was at least 900 pages long at the moment, exclusive of exhibits and schedules, and that he regretted not keeping a copy for his form file. A red leather envelope, smelling of sulfur, was found on Mr. Cass's person, which contained a handwritten note reading, "Please come back anytime. I haven't had so much fun in years."
That's fun.
Mr. Katz has requested reassignment. No.
Arguing semantics with the actual devil.
The devil was loving it.
Oh yeah, no, that's like his new best friend.
Remaining
He's
tests
talking to a
require level
lawyer.
4 clearance or
This
higher.
guy's fucking great.
At least they're not bringing me people who worship a dog called Moxie anymore.
Holy shit, he's actually sentient.
Remaining tests require level 4 clearance or higher to view until declassification is complete. Addendum 3. Notes. In recent testing, offers have been made directly to the researchers who were telling the subject what to do. Recommend cessation of all testing. Oh fuck,
Mephistopheles, are you sure this ain't one of yours?
Incredible.
No? No, you just found that over in England? The fuck are they doing over there?
This is one that was recently redone.
Huh.
Alright, I'm going to be right back. I need
No.
to go find something to drink with my tacos.
I'm
You can wait until I get back, or I mean, I guess.
No,
wait till I get back.
I'm waiting.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't want to touch this, honestly.
But yes, I like the actual deal with the devil that was given to a cardinal by the Pope.
I mean, duh. I don't know. Was he operating by fucking Dunmer Temple rules? Be familiar with the devils to know how to best handle them, and then like every other cardinal, he didn't do that very well. I can't quite say that. Okay, what the hell is? see. At least this thing is a containment class of Euclid still. That's nice.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Welcome back. Frankly, I'm just happy they still have this thing under a actual designation for the
Yeah.
class.
Like, I can understand adding, like, some other stuff onto that. Like, sure, disruption class. Like, because, like, Euclid is a very small amount of meaning.
Risk class, fine, sure. I don't really know
Yeah,
what
like, how much of a
disruption
risk is it
class
if it
actually
does break
means.
containment? And, like, how much would it disrupt, like, other containment procedures if it were to break loose? That's good information to have, because just Euclid, this could be anything.
Yeah. Also,
Alright.
I looked into it. Amida or Amida, however the fuck it's pronounced, has ties to like Buddhism.
Has ties
So
to,
you know,
has ties to what?
Buddhism,
Oh. Okay. But, like, what
like
does
the
it mean in the
Japanese
SCP
sect of
Foundation?
it. Fuck if I know.
Alright, you're good to start whenever.
Item number 186. Containment class Euclid, disruption class Amida, risk class critical. SCP-186-A and its location of discovery. That's actually a fun. You think that's a picture, or did they actually like stage a photo?
I don't know.
I think it's a. I think it's a drawing. Ah,
No
whatever.
clue. I'm gonna be eating.
Special containment procedures. SCP-186-A is contained within a high-security controlled containment vault at Deepwell 5. Access to SCP-186 is restricted to persons with Level 5/186 credentials only. SCP-186-A is to be monitored at all times. Any changes in its status or configuration are to be reported to Deepwell 5 Site Supervisor immediately. Suspected uncontrolled activation of SCP-186-A requires immediate intervention by on-site personnel with a level 14 memetic resistance rating. Should these persons be insufficient to neutralize SCP-186-A, liquidation of Deepwell 5 has been authorized. Jesus Christ, okay. A perimeter has been established around SCP-186-B and is closed to the public under the cover story of unexploded ordnance being present in the area. Security patrols from Site-171 are to maintain strict observation of the established perimeter, and any anomalous activity observed by the perimeter guard is to be reported to the Site-171 supervisor. 843 instances of SCP-186-C are stored within secure containment vaults at Site-171. Additional instances collected by research teams or perimeter patrols are to be remanded to the SCP-186 research team for analysis. Transport of these items is restricted to approved logistics teams only. Description: SCP-186 is the group designation for a collection of anomalous phenomena related to Dr. Jean Duran, an early 20th century French anatomist and World War I field doctor. SCP-186-A is a wooden coffin, roughly 3.9 meters in height and made from oak, within which is contained a series of mechanisms designed to alter human perception. A small glass placard is attached to the front of the coffin, upon which reads, "I'm not reading French, but it was said by Durand." He looks if you would. Thank you. The means by which SCP-186-A is able to achieve its function is currently unknown. Very little has been determined about the internal makeup of SCP-186-A, due in large part to the complexity of the systems therein. SCP-186-A cannot be radiographically visualized in any way except Excessive radiographic interference is capable of triggering SCP-186-A's activation mechanisms, and the internal components of SCP-186-A are so densely arranged that accessing the deeper sections of the machine has proven impossible. Those sections that are visible through the cracked lid of SCP-186-A reveal an exceptionally intricate network of steel gears, copper tubes, glass vials filled with liquids of unknown composition, wood and canvas bellows, pulleys, pistons, and other components of unknown purpose. When activated, SCP-186-A causes all persons nearby to suffer immediate and acute catatonic shock. In 7% of recorded cases, this effect is immediately fatal. The range within which persons are affected by SCP-186 steadily grows in size so long as it remains active. It is currently unknown exactly what effects SCP-186-A has on human perception, as no affected persons has been capable of any form of communication post-exposure. SCP-186-B is the site of an unrecorded military engagement roughly 90 kilometers northeast of the city of Königsberg? Königsberg, modern-day Kaliningrad, near the border between modern-day Russia and Lithuania. The modern the engagement, which took place between July and August of 1917, saw the Imperial German Army pursuing a retreating and disorganized Russian battalion in their march towards Petrograd, modern-day St. Petersburg. Contemptuous records of this event call it the Battle of Königsberg Forest. A German detachment of over 500 soldiers from Army. I'm not reading that. A detachment of 500 soldiers under a general engaged the scattered remnants of the Russian army in a wooded area outside the field of Königsberg. Both sides of the conflicts utilized anomalous weaponry, classified as SCP-186-C, during the battle, the unrestricted use of which resulted in the near total annihilation or incapacitation of all military and civilian personnel involved. Despite this, the battle did little to stop the progress of the Imperial German Army north towards Petrograd. SCP-186-C are anomalous weapons, munitions, and other technologies of war used in the Battle of Königsberg Forest. Collected instances of SCP-186-C include... He
Yeah,
looks at
I'll
you.
be
What?
right
Thank
back.
you.
I'm going to wash my hands and get rid of my plate. You can keep reading.
Yep. Razor wire... Razor trench wire capable of autonomous movement, which seeks out and coils around living creatures to
Oh
slowly
my god, that
constrict
is
and flay
horrifying.
them.
Actually, kind of.
Oh,
Can you wait till I get back? I want to hear more about it.
yeah, okay. Holy shit. God, these are wretched to read, actually.
I am back. You can continue reading.
Okay, I'm just gonna read it from the top again. Razor trench wire, incapable of autonomous movement, which seeks out and coils around living creatures to slowly constrict and flay them. Two different forms of gas weapon. One that causes living tissue to be incapable of ceasing life functions, and another that dramatically heightens all human sensory inputs. Fun. Incendiary devices that burn all living tissue aside from elements of the nervous system. Fragmentation grenades that, upon contacting living tissue after explosion, cause the sudden and rapid growth of eyes across all affected surfaces. Artillery shell that, upon exploding, creates no sound but cause nearby affected persons to experience vivid and unending auditory hallucinations. Jesus Christ. Just,
Weapons
So,
of, like, actual.
so imagine So imagine some German fuck just lobs a gas grenade at you, and instead of, standard issue nerve gas, you get hit with the feel everything gas. And then you see the fucking trench wire snake coming after you. Ugh. Correspondence gathered from the site of SCP-186-B indicate that the engagement was spurred by the recommendation of a Hungarian military attaché to the Imperial German Army named Nemes. I'm just going to say Nemes.
Yeah, that's fair.
This was in spite of the fact that engaging the retreating Russians' resistance for the God damn it. This was in spite of the fact that engaging the retreating Russian resistance forces, which included the aforementioned Dr. Jean Durand, required significant devotion from the German battalion and would have put them well behind the rest of the advancing line. It is believed that both Durand and Nemes supplied the weapons used during the battle, and had positioned themselves on opposite side of the engagement to test the efficacy of those weapons. Addendum 186.1 Recovered correspondences between Nemes and Jean Durand. Following letters were recovered from the estate of Baron Leupold von Hohenberg, a mid-20th century Austrian nobleman and occultist who became obsessed with the idea of developing a perfect weapon to bring victory to the Axis powers during the Second World War. A number of different pieces of correspondence between Nemes and Durand were included in his collection, all of which were seized by the Foundation at the conclusion of the war.
No
He
more
looks if you will.
toys.
Monsieur le Docteur Jean Durand, permit me, in the spirit of professional candor, to resume our conversation begun at the hospital tent 2 weeks past. You will recall my argument. Conflict ceases only when one side is rendered unable, politically, materially, morally, to take up arms again. History teaches that mercy is heeded only where fear is absolute and demonstrated. If science grants us means to impose that condition swiftly without protracted attrition, then it is our duty as men of statecraft to examine those means. Better one decisive, terrible instrument than 10 years of blood and starvation. You have my respect. You will have my continued advocacy for decisive options. War is a language only those who still believe in its efficacy understand. Let it be our aim to make that language useless. Avec estime
French.
Nemes. Yeah, that. Well,
Yeah, French. That's odd. I
well,
can't wait for
yeah.
fucking Tanya's speech to just be in here.
Fuck off. Only known image of Dr. Jean Durand. Yeah, fucking course it is. Monsieur Nemes, I received your letter and appreciate its directness. I shall be equally direct in reply. I do not deny the. I need to take a fucking breath. God.
That's what was happening to me. I don't know what it is about today, but it's so I'm getting ahead of myself on every word.
I do not deny the utilitarian attractiveness of a single act that ends a conflict. The intellect delights in economy. Nor do I deny that men in government will always prefer instruments that promise swifter conclusion, but I fear we differ in what we consider an acceptable ledger of cost. You speak of rendering a people unable to resist. I speak of rendering resistance unthinkable. Therein lies a moral distinction, however small it may appear on a map, that changes everything. Should we, as you assert, seek to terrify a populace into submission, I fear all we would achieve is build a peace dependent on fear, silence, and shame. Instead, I hope to make the cost of war manifest to all. It is in this that we will change the ethical grammar of politics. Knowledge, in my design, will achieve a far greater peace than any simple weapon of war. I will pursue the latter for reasons both scientific and humane. I do not seek to design agony, monsieur. I seek to render the notion of mass slaughter self-defeating in human minds. Jean Durand, MD.
Buh. Yeah, we will get to your SCP reading after we finish this article. Sorry, this one is a little long, but
Yeah, we're
what can
we're
you do?
reading about. This is actually cool and conceptually, though.
Yeah, I like it so far.
Let's see. Uh, Fucking November 4th of 1923, a 3 meter or a 3 kilometer squared area in the southwestern sector exhibits rapid growth of servine biological matter from beneath the earth in the form of crude humanoid approximations. Ugh. Growth ceases after 19 hours. They, sp- they spontaneously desiccate into particulate rust after 14 days. Particulate rust? Fucking excuse you? Okay. No fauna observed crossing into the area during their persistence. Yeah. Okay. Uh. Oh no. Right. These are. Never mind. That's not how that works. This is European dating system, so I hate it. Uh. 13th of January, 27. The ambient temperature at which humans are comfortable dramatically falls to below negative 30 degrees Celsius, causing all persons within the affected area to experience the sensation of burning. The effect persists for a period of 73 minutes. Fuck. Okay. Uh, the 2nd of.
You can just say how many years
Sep-
it's been. That's fair. Like,
I'm
this
just
is
gonna.
5 years
I'm just
after
gonna
the last one.
say.
The other one was 4 years after the previous one. Just take the year.
I'm just gonna say the year. Fuck it.
Yeah.
1932. Wideband receivers placed throughout the site capture an intermittent key transmission every 23 to 41 minutes. Signal analysis shows simultaneous adherence to period Russian and German field signaling conventions, with mutually exclusive timing solutions. Decoded, decoded groups resolve to coordinate pairs that plot to unmarked points within the site boundaries. No transmitters located. EM survey negative. Transmission cease after 72 hours. 1936. Reports of a severely disfigured soldier in Russian army dress searching for firearms amidst the wreckage of the German army outposts. Upon finding a pistol, fires several shots into the side of his head, destroying much of his skull and ejecting brain matter. Moments after collapsing onto the ground, stands up again, with the previously damaged parts of his skull having regrown in misshapen ways. Continues searching for firearms to repeat the process. This continues for several hours until the supply of available firearms at the outpost are exhausted, at which point the figure disappears into the forest. Okay.
Ugh.
During Foundation evacuation of SCP 186 B in advance of Operation Barbarossa, observers note persistent secondary silhouettes trailing personnel by 3 to 5 seconds at distance is up to 150 meters. Silhouettes match height and gait but fail to occlude light and do not register when photographed. Phenomenon observed until last team exits perimeter. Silhouettes remain stationary for roughly 12 minutes following evacuation, then dissipate. 1945. Upon re-establishing control of the area, Foundation patrols report seeing a large humanoid entity composed entirely of numerous rotting human bodies moving through the forest at night. The creature collects the remnants of still living human body fragments and attaches them to its own before fleeing from spotlights. Oh, hey, they're rotten. 1959. Following formations of a large sinkhole in the northeastern quadrant, low-frequency exhalations, 0.2 to zero point 0.5 hertz, emanate from the void at 11 to 14-minute intervals. Spectral analysis reveals form and structures consistent with human phonation but no intelligible language. Rope probes descend freely to 30 meters before being abruptly dragged wholly into the sinkhole. No additional probe tests are conducted. 1959. Again. Excavation adjacent to the above void yields 23 sealed wooden caskets at 14 to 16 meters depth. Within these caskets are still living human bodies in various state of structural decay, each holding strings of human teeth, 32 per string, pierced and knotted in rosary-like configurations with aged sinew. Ugh. Dental morphography spans adolescent to elderly. Comparative databases produce no matches. All photographic attempts of contents result in underdeveloped frames or black negatives. Notably, one casket appears to be missing. 1962. Patrols report seeing a man in fine dress walking across one of the battlefields, occasionally pausing to inspect the bodies of humans and other fauna affected by SCP-186-C. Upon being addressed by patrols, turns and acknowledges them. Much of the man's face above the mouth has been destroyed. Moments later, the figure fades away and disappears. 1975. Research teams returning from SCP-186-B indicate they had been lost within the space for 3 weeks, having lost or abandoned 6 members of their team in the process. Externally, the team had only been inside SCP-86-B for 2 hours.
Of course.
1987. Multiple observers report 216 parachute canopies at roughly 900 to 1100 meters altitude, drifting over the central zone of a north-south on a north-south course. No aircraft contrails or engine noise detected. Canopies exhibit World War I era patterns and rigging but remain semi-translucent and cast no shadows. Radar returns negative. After 19 minutes, all canopies simultaneously drop towards the Earth and vanish. No material recovered.
Oh my god, I got so many other. Oh my
Oh,
god.
God
If we
damn
need
it.
to swap off at some point, let me know.
We'll see. 2009. Patrols report seeing what appears to be a woman and child walking near a stream. Both figures are ablaze, and their figures cannot be determined. That's nice. Addendum 186.3. Recovered letter from the von Hohenberg estate. The following letter was similarly collected from the estate of the Baron von Hohenberg. Within the collection, it is described of having been recovered from the shambling remains of a thing that was once a man. Within SCP-186-B, having never reached its intended destination. Yeah, no shit.
Alright.
Near the Pregel River east of Königsberg. August 1917. My dearest Anya, I write by a light that cannot choose between evening and dawn. If this finds you, know my hand was steady even if it no longer feels entirely mine. I want you to have my voice become before it becomes the only echo that has been moving through the field all day. 3 days hence we move to a wooded outcrop near Königsberg, where your Aunt Tanya used to live. Little remains here now of those villagers, and I do fear for her. The officers told us we would make a stand here, that the Germans were coming up behind, and that we needed to protect Petrograd. Perhaps they were mistaken. This clutch of trees is not Petrograd, yet they compel us to defend it all the same. They gave us new weapons to defend these trees, weapons I had never glimpsed before. Rifles that hissed and moaned, cannon stock that glowed red in the dark of night, other horrors we did not know. They will help you hold the line, the officers said, and then by the next dawn's light they were gone. They knew. The mud here fights better than men. It keeps what it takes. Birches stand like candles and bow when the wind prays. Tonight our line folded, first the edge, then the crease, then the crumbs shaken from a cloth. The enemy arrived early and quietly, with little of the standard issue of war. Our guns answered, and then other things responded. New things ordained not by God or the devil below, or God above or the devil below, but by something altogether more terrible. The ground reaches for soldiers as if it had learned to hunt. A gas attack came and created a foul fog that would not let bodies rest, even after they had been turned to mince by bullets or bayonets. Here and there spark fires that create nightmares where men once stood. I am trying to be plain. He looked if you would. You remember the French doctor I once wrote of, the one with the neat beard and thin gloves who traded cigarettes for stories? It was he who distributed those new weapons. While we held our breath or lost it, he held a lens. He arranged the fallen as if they were sentences and touched them with the back of his hand like a mother testing a sleeping child. When he stood, his coat was clean. This is very interesting, he told me in careful Russian. If he appears in our village during peacetime, run. Take nothing with you. I have learned on this smoldering field that there are depths of darkness beyond anything I have ever dreamed there to be. And that was within and that within these depths are creatures that masquerade as men, but are not. His doctor is such a creature. Where our eyes glimpse horror, he sees something altogether different. Our suffering is a curiosity. One of his new things found me as simply as a man walking into a glass door. A taste of metal, sweet, heavy air. My chest decided to continue without me. My hands are too full of touch. Paper scratches like snow, snow burns like nettles. Small, bright wells have opened up on my arms. They notice even when my eyes close. I am changing. Do not be afraid. I am afraid enough for the both of us and still myself when it counts. I will not go back the usual way. The cart is far and my legs have other ideas. If someone brings a parcel that pretends to be me, do not meet it at the station. Tell father I kept a little icon in my pocket. Its varnish cracked like river ice, but the face still kind. Tell mother that I learned to make tea without wasting wood. Tell my brother to trade boots one size larger. Tell yourself there was a day on a ruined field where a man thought only of your hands, and that it contained everything he wanted. Your ribbon is in my left boot. Another promise, then. I will carry you wherever I am going. The birches are tugged by the wind. My chest persists. Perhaps it learned stubbornness from you. Someone hums a tune that might be a hymn or a march, but the notes walk home in their own order. I will end before the light changes me. Eat the bread you like. Open the window where the street smells of horses. If another life comes to you, let it. You have been my whole argument. I sign with the name you whisper when you think I am not listening. Your Misha. P.S. If they find enough of me to bury, tell them to plant me under a birch. Those trees know how to be both black and white and still one thing. They will understand.
That was good. I like that.
Damn. Addendum 186.4. Recovered correspondence between Nemes and Duran. Continued. One moment.
Yeah. If you need, I can take over. This has been pretty long-winded.
Just wish one of my eyes wasn't acting up. Makes it a little more annoying to
I
read.
could go ahead and open up all of the things, just so we can see how much will actually end up being left.
Hell on earth. Okay.
We were... right before this one. Okay. Jesus. Yeah, that's still like half. Are you sure?
Fuck it. I'm not reading anything else after this.
No.
I kid, but I'm not reading the next one after this.
That's fair. That's fair.
Monsieur Durand, your proposition is academically sound, but I fear it is lacking in practicality. In either case, rhetoric will not test resolve. I propose a controlled demonstration, a limited engagement where each side employs armaments so monstrously persuasive in their effect that the very sight of them will irreversibly compel men's wills. If these instruments' presence causes combatants to lay down arms rather than face them, we shall have empirical proof that substantial enough power, no matter how horrible, can compel peace. I ask you to consent to supplying such armaments for a single supervised trial. If you will not provide the object, name one you will accept as proxy. I will arrange observers and a neutral ground. The current state of von Kirchbach's northwardly march will provide ample opportunity to test the limits of these new miracles. We are men of science, who strive above all else to identify the great questions of the world and seek answers for them. In this case, the question is simple. Will men, when confronted with an unambiguous prospect of what awaits them, refuse to fight? Let us find out. Nemes. Doctor. Report from the field. Demonstration was executed under the terms agreed. The terrible effect upon the host unit achieved immediate cessation of hostilities in that sector. I tell you with delight that the weapons exceeded what even I had imagined them capable of. They brought forth a destruction of such remarkable malice as has never been seen on this earth, and all those who carried them wept for the horrors they carried out. Truly, there are no greater tools of devastation than these. However, what I did not anticipate, and now convey in frankness, is the reaction of certain external observers. General von Kirchbach, who has been an attendant on these proceedings in a supervisory capacity, did not recoil. He studied the happenings with professional curiosity, then praised its efficacy and requested further units for his forces. He framed his request not as a moral appeal, but as a tactical advantage. I thought you should know at once. The instrument you supplied may, in the eyes of some, be not a deterrent, but a force multiplier. Political appetite for such advantage grows fast. For my own part, I will review my findings and stay in clear correspondence. Sincerely, Nemes. Nemes, I expected as much. The mind that seeks to dominate will admire any means that consolidates domination. If von Kirchbach sees only tactical utility, then the apparatus has been misunderstood by him and misappropriated by the times. I had once dreamt as you have of a weapon with which to win all wars. A perfect weapon to make both the bullet and the saber obsolete. One that conducts its bullets with such finality that no force would dare rise against its terrible authority. Yet this confirms what I feared and what I have said in quieter moments. A weapon that horrifies in a single instance will be turned by men into a tool of power unless the agony of its implementation is experienced not just by men on a battlefield, but also by those who would authorize its use. Therefore, a far greater, more terrible instrument is necessary, not in physical capacity, but in ethical binding, something that cannot be ignored. I will consider what that might mean. For now, recover what tools you can. Destroy any operational replication von Kirkbach requests. If he persists, you must refuse him or destroy him. I leave the matter to you. JD. Addendum 186.5. A Initial Containment Memorandum. Internal Memorandum, Site 17. Supervisor Lyons. Per your request, the device has been shuttered and moved into containment staging. Attached, you'll find the preceding documentation as well as the initial evaluation. Had it not been Jurikson being a type gray, we'd have lost the whole detachment before we ever got close enough to shut it down. I went to see him after we wrapped up the transport. They say he's still able to see and speak, but there's nothing left in there. He was a level 15, too. Fewer than 20 of them, the whole Foundation. One less after they. We found the poor bastard who opened it in the first place. Just some junkie looking for something he could salvage. Was practically fused to the floor. Took out half the town with him, too. We've got crews in place now moving the affected to cold storage, but unless you're able to read minds, you're not going to get anything out of them. And I'm not sure you'd want to if you could. The moment it would hit them, they'd scream once, not like any scream I'd ever heard, and then go completely silent, just staring at nothing. I've never seen anything like it. Word of advice, if you have to be near them, avoid looking in their eyes. You'll thank me later. Salvador Adrietti. MTF at level 45 at Taskmasters. Addendum 186.6. SCP-186-A Discovery. SCP-186-A was discovered in an abandoned warehouse in the town of Tisvar.
Good enough.
Fuck it. Hungary in 1988. At the time of discovery, the population was roughly 3,500, of which nearly half lived within 5 kilometers of the warehouse. The Foundation became alerted to SCP-186-A's activation after intercepting an anonymous phone message to regional authorities. Helix, if you would. The original call includes several oblique references to the Foundation, enough to trigger automatic information control protocols and alert Foundation assets to the ongoing situation in Tisvin, in the town. The identity of this caller has never been verified. Alright, cool. Several boxes of loose documents and journals were also recovered from the site, along with a length of chain that appears to have been previously wrapped around SCP-186-A before it was cut off just prior to its activation. A middle tag was found attached to the chain that read SCP Foundation, Department of Abnormalities.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That's a name. It's this
Yeah?
branch of the Foundation that they don't really know, like, anything about. It exists, but they don't know, like, who's running it, what they're doing, or, like, anything, really.
So it's... So is it like even to the O5s they're unknown, or...
It's even, it's, it's, we don't know.
Okay, got it.
Like, who knows what the O5s actually know?
The O5 aren't real.
Yeah.
It's just Jack Bright in a costume. Every time. Addendum 186.7. Summary of collected texts. The following is a collection of excerpts from the documents and journals recovered at SCP-186-A's location of discovery. The bulk of these documents were identified to have been penned by Dr. Jean Durand. The writings of Jean Durand, anatomist and field surgeon of meager...
I was going to scroll down
Yes.
first, but I also
Okay,
want
thank
to
you.
say, I think this might be written by DJ Cactus, but I'm not sure.
Maybe. The writings of Jean Durand, an anatomist and field surgeon of meager renown, a student of what may break and mend a man. I keep this journal first to arrange my own observations, and second those who will come after me, that they may judge my methods and motives without rumor. I do not claim importance, yet if the work proves consequential, it should have a clear record in my hand. It has been many years, and the trenches have not once stopped talking to me. I wake with mud in my mouth and the names of boys I once treated running like a ledger behind my eyes. For months, I have been trying to translate that ledger into something useful. Not medicines this time, but an instrument of prevention. If a single contrivance could make one side so invincible that no general would dare order a charge, if the world knew exactly the terrible power at the call of those who could summon it, would we not have made war obsolete by force of certainty? I once believed so. I convinced myself that a superior instrument of violence, absolute, terrifying, final, could be the cure. Build the thing that wins every war, I told myself, and the rest would follow. Treaties would bind, armies would wither from disuse. Children would not learn the taste of petrol and iron. In this, I found common kinship with the man Nemez. I have sketched endlessly, argued in smoky rooms, and listened to men whose mouths were full of maps and victory. There is a narcotic comfort into their language. Statistics, logistics, range. When I close my eyes, I do not see ranges. I see faces. I have not yet confessed that to them. There is a part missing from the arithmetic we once pursued. The mess, though I likely did not see it for what it was, revealed that to me in 1917. The element most lacking from our display was, as I now believe, understanding. Is that something
No.
we can... No. Okay, thank God. Not for those soldiers who withered under the fires we imposed upon them, but for the men in their high castles moving armies from afar. If we cannot be made to understand the nightmare of war, then what hope have we to see it brought to end? For now, I will begin where a man who knows anatomy ought to begin, by studying the limits of force, both material and will. I walked the battlefields again, this time without tally books or diagrams, only an unwillingness to look away. Graves are honest in a way that governments are not. A rusted helmet half buried in a furrow refuses euphemism. I tried to imagine a deterrent that truly deters, and a different cruelty discloses itself. Not the cruelty of killing en masse, but the cruelty of making people immune to the sight of it. If populations can be made to tolerate slaughter as an abstraction, numbers on a report, then no weapon, however absolute, will prevent it. Fear of annihilation is instrumentally potent only while it is abstract and distant. Up close, grief becomes a political problem to be managed, not a moral veto. What if, instead of inventing a new method of killing, one could make killing undeniable in a way that prevents abstraction? Not by words or photographs, those are always folded into arguments, but by forcing the experience of it into the mind inescapably. I am haunted by the image of a leader tallying lives while his people sleep without knowing what has been taken from them. To prevent that, one must remove the buffer, the lie that a war's suffering is someone else's business. Make every human a witness, make denial impossible. This idea terrifies me more than any diagram of destruction. It is monstrous in its ambition. It would not wipe a battlefield. It would fold the battlefield into consciousness. I do not yet know whether such a fold is salvation or a new kind of violence. I write it down now because I must confront it honestly, not to devise its mechanism, but to admit that I am thinking along these lines. There are very dark doors down which empathy can be forced. I feel their frames beneath my hand. I have counted every broken body, every drop of blood, every wide eye and open, screaming mouth. I have made the tally of the greatest suffering of man. I know the weight of the imposition I am creating. I have felt every blistering inch of it. To force memory upon a world is to create new horrors, yes. Madness, paralysis, a global skein of sorrow so dense that life itself is constricted. I weigh that against the alternative. Endless seasons of conscription, countless mothers bending over beds of sons who do not return, women, children, ground into festering meat in a hole that is not a grave, carrion birds turning men into pocked things with empty eyes. Horrors beyond horrors, and more. Sorry, one sec.
That's fine. We're gonna be getting an ad break here in like 2 minutes.
I have imagined the world's assemblies, the oaths, the guardians. I have imagined safeguards, legal, civic, ritual, to prevent monopolization. I once dreamed of a world where every hand held the final weapon. I know now they will simply reason that weapon into obsolescence, or trivialize it, and find new fronts for their carnage. In time, they may forget the perfect weapon exists at all, and turn a blind eye to the conventional horrors. I return now to the same dark hypothesis, that to end a war we must remove their capacity to look away. I think of the men in the trenches who whispered their last apologies to strangers, and wonder if that intimacy, spread outwards, would render war unfeasible. And now the apparatus stands complete. It is not an engine in the old sense. It has no barrels, no shells, but it is an engine all the same. It does not kill. Killing is far too pedestrian, and would leave it as little more than simply a more sophisticated gun. No, it forces understanding. Once activated, it takes the final moments of every life lost to war, every torn breath, every blind reaching for help, every last pleading word drowned under the grinding noise of uncaring annihilation, and braid them into an unending stream of witness. Not pictures or newsreels. They are too readily fictionalized. What they see will be real, stripped of distance, laid bare across the mind's floorboards. No more empty updates from faraway fronts, no more red streaks on a general's tally. The world will carry the trench inside its own skull, and the trench will never be empty.
One moment.
What they witness shall be truly unspeakable.
20 seconds left in the ad break. Give it a moment before starting the next paragraph.
Yep.
Oh, I like this article so far. I think it's really good.
Oh, yeah.
I want to check something after we finish it.
Hmm.
All right.
Ah.
Should be good now, allegedly.
What they witness shall be truly unspeakable. It is not horror as in a book. There is no turning the page to look away from the nightmares. It is the drowning of every private partition in your mind. A stranger's last heartbeat becomes your own. The smell of fetid soil and burning iron fills your lungs until you choke. A widow's desperate keening stretches behind your eyes like wire, and it does not fade. It becomes a companion at breakfast, at prayer, and the hush before sleep. You cannot comfort yourself that you were only a witness. You are the dying for as long as it lasts, and it lasts forever. It is an act of forced compassion. I will show them all wars, and by doing so, I shall end all wars.
By the way, the title of this SCP is To End All Wars, so like... What's the name of the fucking thing?
Fucking Frenchmans. And so, you will forgive, I hope, the tremor in my script. There is much to say and little time to say it. I have done the thing you feared I might do. This thing I have built for the world. This is the cure I imagined. I speak to you truly and without a modicum of doubt remaining in my mind. This machine shall put an end to the suffering of war. It is pure. It is perfect. It is absolute. And yet, here is my shame, naked. I cannot bring myself to open the final circuit. I cannot submit my whole self to the full current of what I have prepared. I have given slivers to my own mind, enough to know its depth, but not enough to drown in it. Each time I approach the switch, I feel my pulse stutter. I tell myself that it is simply caution, a passing uncertainty. The momentary pause before the drop. The truth is simpler. I am afraid. Afraid of my own creation. And afraid of inhabiting the war I thought I could force others to inhabit. Afraid, perhaps, that even this will not end it. You once called me brave, Ansel. Do not. I am not brave. I am an anatomist who took knowledge for remedy, and now trembles before the medicine he has brewed. I cannot be the one to decide if it is administered. I cannot live under the shadow of what I have made. I do not have the will to press the world's eyelids open and watch. So I leave it to you. The machine is yours now. Its mechanisms are sealed but simple to awaken. The instructions are enclosed with this letter. You, who have seen what I have seen but never yielded to despair, may yet possess the clarity I lost. If you judge it a monstrosity, destroy it. If you judge it a necessary horror, then, God forgive us, let it do its work. I pray you never need to choose. By the time you read this, I will be gone. I am taking the coward's door, or the honest one. I no longer know the difference. My life is a ledger of wounds I could not close. Perhaps my absence will keep you from inheriting my illusions. Perhaps it will only add another name to the archives of needless loss. Either way, it is my last act of control. May whatever grace still lingers in this century, if there is any at all, guide your hand better than it guided mine. Avec respect, J. Durand.
That was good. I really like that article.
Yeah, no, genuinely, this is a
Yeah.
fantastic concept.
Incredibly well written as well. All right, something I wanted to check, because this was redone recently.
What did it look like before?
Based on SP1 by Callinlun.
Kalanen.
Where can I see the author?
Um,
As the original was done by Callinlun, but who did this one?
it said at the top, didn't it?
This? It's based on that.
But what the hell is DJK?
DJ K, I'm assuming is DJ Cactus, because he's the one
Okay.
who made the
Okay.
department and the Cactus verse. But at the same time, I assume that's just a message from him.
Weird.
And I assume this is...
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, it was Cactus. Alright, cool.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, he's done the Ouroboros cycle. Is this the Nanta Sasha? Hold on. It is a Nanta Sasha.
Let's fucking go!
Big fucking eel motherfucker.
Let's fucking go!
But yeah, this guy's a pretty, Oh, yeah,
He won. He won. He won.
Yeah, alright, cool. What I wanted to check is if there's a website called like the Wayback Machine, right? That lets you see like websites like
Yeah.
in the past. I wanted to see if I could use that to see what the original article looked like. How do I use this? I don't want to. All right. SCP wiki. Do I have to like actually input the? All right. Oh my god. What the hell is all of this? I'm just gonna go back to last year. Or I guess I could go back to earlier in this year. Let's go to like the second, I guess.
Do we know when it was revised?
Not exactly, but I know it was revised rather recently. And so I'm just gonna
Also,
go back like a month or so.
I feel the need to mention something.
What?
You're on the SCP series page, not like the thing we're
That's
actually looking
fine. The
for,
thing will be
which is
yeah. 186, wasn't it?
yeah.
It says staff placeholder right now, not to end
Wow.
all wars. This is really slow.
That's part of why I
Uh.
Oh, so this was under construction at this point, I think.
So what if I went further back?
What if you started it by the 186 page?
Oh my god, fine.
Just a thought, so it's not trying to
It's
load
just I don't
more
know if
shit.
that's gonna be weird because this technical version of the page only existed as of late or something. I don't fucking
Go to
know.
21.
Man.
Fuck you.
This one. Ah, here's the. It's so bright. Ah.
Okay. So there was more stuff. Go down. but this seems to
Bison.
primarily just be.
Yeah,
I see.
it's the original of what that was based on.
Okay, so it's a lot more. It's a lot more fucking nerd tech specific.
I
Cool.
wouldn't say it's nerd tech. It's just a lot
Or
more basic.
history nerd stuff. Like it's very
Yeah.
specific with like the model of things comparatively.
Yeah. This is just yeah. It's still like Jean Durand and all of that.
Well, it's got things from Jean Duran, but he seems very different as a character from what I'm gleaning from this. Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to actually read this because we're not going to read every iteration of every article. Not going to do
Hmm.
that. But I just wanted to like take a look at it to be like, oh, was this like super similar? And it is kind of similar. Very different now, but I like it now. I
Yeah.
like the new
Oh
one.
yeah. It. I will say I don't have issues with the new SCPs that we've read, except for that one. You know who you are. Uh,
Yeah.
but I still don't fully like how the new layout for the pages is.
You've asked for SCP-14J, is what you've asked
For-
for. Kid Fortnite. Oh, great.
I'm not reading this.
Ah,
Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Give me this.
it's really small, yeah.
Lazy bitch. I only read
I'll
a whole
take it.
manifest for you. No,
You.
no, I'm reading this. Fuck you. I want the first dash J for that.
That's
Give me
fair.
my fucking Emmy.
Go on, go on, go on.
Item number SCP-14. Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-14's holding cell is to remain locked at all times. Personnel of sufficient clearance, as determined by faculty administrator, may be admitted to view SCP-14 after submitting a formal request 3 weeks in advance. Anyone handling SCP-14 must undergo Special Precautionary Protocol 14-2. All personnel exposed to SCP-14 must be subsequently subjected to a 48-hour quarantine and psychological evaluation. And after exposure, common sense dictates that one should wash their hands. Description: SCP-14 takes the form of an antique dinner fork, well worn and as near as can be estimated, not clean since the 1890s. The object is fashioned from the electroplated nickel silver typical of the suspected period of its manufacture, and the rightmost tine is bent redacted degrees outwards. Brown stains and mold adorn the prongs and the pits of the decorative parts of the handle. Analysis of this material seems to indicate that SCP-14 was last used on some form of beef. SCP-14 was moved to this facility in the early 1970s and seems, for all intents and purposes, to be an entirely mundane dinner fork. If it is possessed of any extraordinary qualities, they are known only to those in the very highest echelon of this project's coordinators, whose representatives assure us that SCP-14 is, quote, very important. Officers who have spent time alone with SCP-14 are unanimous in their appreciation that the object is of great significance, hence its continued preference at this site, though none can quite say why. See Testimony of Major Redacted, February 1972. No tests on SCP-14 are authorized. Any personnel observed attempting to compromise SCP-14 in any way are to be terminated at once. Note: I request that they have this SCP decommissioned immediately. It's too dangerous to be kept alive. Agent Spoon. Notes: request denied. There is no evidence of any immediate threat. From the O5. Notes: no. I am personally led to believe that Agent Spoon was found dead in an alley somewhere.
Oh, oh my god, it's so I love it. It's so
It's
stupid. The
it's
O5's
so
pet
simple and dumb.
spoon, dude.
It's just a spoon that hasn't been cleaned ever, probably.
Oh
I
my
like that they
god.
tested it and found out, yep, that's beef. Was anyway.
Of some kind.
Probably anyway.
Do not let O5 Command see this.
God damn it.
Whoa.
Oh, oh, ah!
I thought it was gonna be something like Stinky Stoompu.
Yeah?
Yay! Yay! Welcome to the party! Yay! incredible.
I like to imagine if an O5 reads that, they just explode.
They somehow did manage to find an anomaly that does only affect LO5 level personnel, and they used it purely just for the bit.
What?
Alright, oh, there's no button to the next one on this, I guess. Why would
Yeah,
you ever
they
want that?
kinda forgot that with the new format and all. Strange, peculiar even.
Yeah. Alright, that'll be it for stream today, guys.
Damn. Well, anyway, it's gonna be it for the series. Hope you liked it so far.
No!
Bitch, get to reading.
Alright. Hopefully now that I've eaten, I don't fuck up every single word.
That's the hope.
Ugh. Item number SCP-187. Object class safe. Special containment procedure. SCP-187 is to be attended full-time by medical personnel, who are to tranquilize or sedate her as needed. She is to be kept under a full set of medical restraints to prevent her from harming herself. Specifically, she is to wear padded mittens at all times, in order to prevent her from attempting to damage her own eyes. If SCP-187 refuses to open her eyes during authorized testing or during site inspections, the use of eyelid speculums is authorized. All statements made by SCP-187 during testing and site inspections are to be recorded and analyzed. SCP-187 is to be prevented from interacting with D-Class personnel who are nearing the end of their cycle. SCP-187 is to be spoon-fed. Mild tranquilizers are to be added to all of her meals. Description: SCP-187 is a Caucasian female, early to mid-20s, 180 centimeters tall, weighing 40 kilograms, approximately 88 pounds.
God damn.
She is suffering from severe malnutrition and must be fed intravenously, as she refuses to eat any food given to her. This is all crossed out. She is recovering from the effects of severe malnutrition. SCP-187 exhibits a unique form of precognition, whereby she sees everything in two states simultaneously, as they are and as they will be. She does not see minor changes, only changes to what would be considered the norm. For example, in testing, when presented with 5D class personnel and asked which of them would change their clothes, she couldn't answer, as such a change isn't drastic enough. However, when presented with 5D class personnel and asked which would be shot, she was able to predict which one every time, as she could see the injury inflicted just by looking at him. SCP-187 cannot foresee future events or changes to items at which she is not currently looking. Rather, she can see the future state of whatever she is looking at. This has led to some unexpected consequences. For example, as part of the usual test performed on new humanoid SCP acquisitions, SCP-187 was given a standardized IQ test. When the results were collated, she was revealed to have an IQ in excess of 300, the limits of the tests. This, of course, would have made her the most intelligent human being on the planet. However, her intellect did not seem that high based on her initial interviews. The test was repeated 4 times, and each time she got the maximum possible score, answering every question correctly. When she was interviewed regarding this, she revealed that she did not actually know the answers to any of the questions. Rather, she had seen the test with the answers already filled in. When she was given a computerized IQ test, where her input didn't affect the future state of where she entered the answers, a keyboard, rather than a pen and paper, her IQ was revealed to be 97, slightly below average. This happens with every written test presented to SCP-187. She can see the answers in advance based on what she herself is going to fill in. Even if the tests are in a foreign language she does not understand. This presents a possible ontological paradox, an injection into the present of information from the future. Where this information, the correct answers, comes from is unknown and possibly unknowable. SCP-187 is suffering from ongoing psychological damage as a result of her anomaly. When, for instance, she is in the company of people who are soon to die, she simultaneously sees both their living, healthy selves and their dead, sometimes decomposing corpses, depending on how far into the future they will die. As a result, pharmacological assistance is required to keep her lucid. SCP-187 also refuses to eat, again due to her abilities. When presented with a plate of food, she will see it as either feces or a semi-digested slop, while a glass of water will appear as a glass of urine. This is what is causing her severe malnutrition, and for this reason, she must be fed and hydrated intravenously. That is all crossed out. Due to the effect that prolonged malnutrition is having on SCP-187's health and the impact that 187's death would have on the Foundation's medium-term emergency planning, SCP-187 is to be blindfolded during meals. Mealtimes are to last no longer than 15 minutes and must take place in a location for which SCP-187 has not predicted any significant changes. Remarks and comments made by SCP-187 which turned out to be prophecies. The divorce of Dr. Redacted. Do you want to take the doctor for this?
He's here, by the way. That one. Not anymore.
Huh?
Cool. Good riddance.
What happened? Did somebody join?
Fucking Bobson joined for a moment.
Oh, okay.
I was playing sound bites.
Oh, I didn't
Okay.
even hear him. Okay.
I can take the doctor.
Alright, cool. Your ring.
My ring.
Yes, your wedding ring.
What about it?
You're not wearing it.
I am. Look, it's right there.
You won't be. Dr. Redax's husband filed for divorce the next day. When she returned for duty, she was no longer wearing her wedding ring. She had been married for 19 years, more than half her life, so wearing the ring was considered normal, and not wearing the ring was enough of an abnormality for SCP-187 to see it. The deaths of the following D-Class personnel. D-16. Why is he so swollen? D-16 was later exposed to the vacuum of space after being sent through SCP-120 in order to dial it to the next destination.
Is that the one I think it is? That we
It
read?
is. It's the fucking
it's
kiddie
great.
pool. That's the kiddie pool that teleports
That's really fun. What happened to him?
Why
does she look like that?
That's weird. D-16, but again, he's cute.
Who? The man standing outside that cell?
Yes. What's his name?
I don't know. Hey, you there.
D-16 turned to face them, at which point SCP-187 gasped and burst into tears, screaming, "He's going to die."
He will? How do you know?
He's got a massive hole in the left-hand side of his head.
Ah.
Sorry, I just really like that she was like, "Oh, hey, that guy is cute. Who is he?" And the interview was just like, "Oh, yeah, hey, you! Look over here!" D-16 was later terminated by gunfire while attempting to escape the site. He may have attempted escape due to SCP-187's screaming, implying that she can set so-called self-fulfilling prophecies in motion. D-16, but again, his legs. Where are his fucking legs? D-16 was killed when SCP Redacted escaped from its cell and bit him in half while attempting to flee the site.
Ouch.
The attempted escape of SCP Redacted. While being escorted through Site Redacted, SCP-187 stopped outside SCP Redacted's cell, staring intently.
What are you looking at?
How did it break through such a heavy door?
Excuse me?
That door is nearly a foot thick. How did it manage to destroy it? 17 hours later, SCP Redacted somehow managed to work free of its restraints and did indeed tear through the door to its cell. However, Dr. Klein had alerted security staff due to SCP-187's statements, so an armed response team was ready and managed to subdue SCP Redacted with gunfire. The cost of keeping a full-time medical team on hand to ensure SCP-187's well-being is obviously high. However, the fact that her anomaly allowed the prevention of an escape of an attempt by an SCP Redacted, a Keter-class object, she shows that she may be useful for more than just pure research. A proposal has been submitted to introduce her to seemingly indestructible SCPs in the hope that she will see them as either dead or destroyed, and be able to describe the manner of death that destruction. This proposal is pending. The potential temporal logistics and careful consideration, she would in effect be seeing the methods of destruction termination, which will only be possible because she saw them. This has caused concern among several higher members of staff. Details of further experimentation may be found in Experiment Log 187-1. I like this so far. I love any helpful SCPs.
Not even helpful, just like
Yeah.
it's just some guy.
Okay,
or
this is
girl.
a test log, but it isn't as long as that like one test log we saw where it's like down to like the thousands of SCPs. Like,
Yeah.
I might. Do we just skip this one since we will not know what any of these mean?
I think for the sake of brevity, yeah.
Yeah, we can read ones that we know.
What
If we
about
see ones that
the
we could do like
is
3, we could do
there
15, we could do 162, but like
uh
ones that are like ones we have never read. I think it's like we won't know what that really means. Which I honestly don't know why this is.
nah.
You don't want to read even the ones we know, like the one for SCP-173.
Nah. I mean, up to you. You're the one reading it, so.
Okay, yeah. I read through it in my head. It literally just says that she saw it, screamed, and then passed out. So I'm good. Good SCP though. I like that one.
Yeah, no, that's fun.
Holy shit.
B.
Alright. Item number SB-188. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. As SCP-188 poses no direct threat to any Foundation assets, SCP-188 is to be contained in Storage Unit J6455. Its presence is to be noted during the bi-weekly survey of site assets. During this time, any environmental effects exerted by SCP-188 are to be reversed. Description: SCP-188 is a volume of iridium metal hosting an effect that acts on a finite region around the object, with the exception of the regional effect. SCP-188 is chemically and physically an otherwise unremarkable sample of iridium metal. SCP-188 has a mass of 181.43 grams and has been cast as a cylinder with a radius of 1 centimeter and a length of 2.56 centimeters. SCP-188's current cylindrical shape is not its original form, but one convenient for experimental manipulation and storage. The regional effect of SCP-188 induces changes in the environment. The changes take the form of discrete manipulations such as scratches on surfaces or grouping and shaping of ambient materials such as dust. These changes emerge over time and are widespread over the entire region of the effect. The changes show a high degree of complexity and structure and have been seen to change with time. Further, the effect extends to all scales and has included exceptionally small and intricate structures. When initially contained by the Foundation, SCP-188 consistently induced fractal motifs. Since containment, this has increasingly shifted to include spiral and flow motifs. Biological forms have emerged as a rare but consistent theme. As the environment around it is manipulated, SCP-188's regional effect will extend outward. Testing has shown that this region will only extend outward to a volume encompassing an area of 4,000 meters squared. Attempts to nullify SCP-188's effects have included placement in a Faraday cage, placement in a radiation containment device, powdering, and melting SCP-188. None of these attempts have diminished the regional effect in any way. Current proposals to vaporize SCP-188 and recondense small portions of the vapor are being explored.
No.
SCP-188 first came to the attentions of a predecessor body to the Foundation on Redacted, located at the Royal Indiana Properties of Redacted. After a thorough search, the object was found as a spike partially submerged in the ground and appeared to be in the process of reshaping the local wheat crop through braiding together and flattening of stalks. No clear pattern had emerged at time of acquisition, though the effect had begun to extend over many meters. Though records are incomplete, it is known that efforts to contain the effect of the object failed. Embedding in bulk materials such as concrete or lead did not diminish the initial size of the region the effect acted over. Further, these attempts ended with the object carving apart the containment sheath. The Foundation has evidence that more esoteric proposals were suggested, such as encasement in diamond. No evidence exists that these technologically sophisticated and research-intensive proposals were followed up on. When this parent organization was folded into the Foundation, the object and any existing records were inherited and placed under the SCP-188 classification. When the crop circle fad emerged, efforts were taken to determine if there was a connection between the crop circle makers and the effects caused by SCP-188. An investigation showed no connection beyond the superficial, and it is the opinion of the O5s that the similarity is a coincidence. Proposals to explore or to illustrate any statistical consistency in the effect SCP-188 has upon its environment are being accepted and evaluated. At this time, due to the lack of inherent danger posed by SCP-188 in its current containment, proposals requiring extreme measures of contact with other SCPs are not encouraged.
I do like how this one is written. It's short, but it also is very
Yeah.
like well worded. Like
Yeah.
the idea
It flows well.
of crop circles being a fad also kind of solidifies it being, oh no, we found this thing before that started
Yeah,
popping up,
like we know what it
and that
might sound like, but that's just a different
no,
thing.
that's just people stomping crops. You guys should really get on that, by the way.
Bigfoot's actually just a guy. Like our guy
Yeah,
is different, but like all
I
those
talked
ones you
to him
see
last
were
week.
just those. That wasn't even disseminate. That was just a hoax. We didn't even do that. Like that wasn't even our cover up. The hoax was just real.
What's wrong with you people?
I don't want to read this
Have at it.
one. I believe this is hair worms.
Have at it. I'm not touching it.
I know. I'm just waiting for ad break to end. Alright. Why am I getting all safes? This is
Fuck yourself.
ridiculous. Give me something that'll kill people, like the fork.
Also, what do you mean? Wasn't the Future Seer not a safe class?
I thought she was safe class.
Am I misremembering? I probably am.
Yeah, she is.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Alright. Item number SCP-189. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. Samples of SCP-189 are to be stored in cryo-containment facility redacted with any surplus destroyed by incineration. Test subjects infected with SCP-189 are to be kept in a sealed containment chamber with an airlock that includes a chemical shower. Personnel interacting with test subjects must wear standard NBC hazard suits throughout their time inside the containment chamber and submit to a chemical shower before exiting the airlock on their way out. When test subjects expire or are terminated, their remains must be sealed in an airtight container or body bag, which is subjected to the same chemical shower as the personnel carrying it out of the chamber, and is disposed of by incineration. Staff members found to be infested with SCP-189 are to be quarantined according to the procedure outlined above for test subjects, and treated with antiparasitic agent 189-A. See Document 189 redacted for treatment procedure. If SCP-189 infestation is discovered on any individual or animal at a facility, all personnel and animals at the facility are to be inspected for the presence of SCP-189 as detailed in Procedure 189 redacted. Any staff members treated as described above, any D-Class and or non-SCP animals terminated, incinerated, and the facility subjected to a thorough cleaning with antiparasitic agent 189-A. Sometimes I read things without realizing that they're about to stop, and so I, like... It sounded like there should have been more there, and I read it like it should have been more there.
Yeah.
Alright. Should any cases of SCP-189 infestation be confirmed in persons or animals outside the Foundation, all those affected are to be immediately taken into custody and quarantined. Animals should be euthanized and incinerated, while humans are to be treated with anti-parasitic agent 189-A for the infestation, then administered Class C or B amnestics. Any individuals who may have been in close contact with the infectees and or entered their personal vehicle or place of residence should be checked for SCP-189 infestation and treated if necessary. Refer to document 189-redacted for suitable cover stories. Description: SCP-189 is a species of parasitic roundworm. Tentative taxonomic classification data expunge. Capable of infesting any mammalian life form. Hold on, Junior wants into my room. Wait, he's a mammalian life form. Oh, you're not Junior, you're Otis. You're just an animal. Sorry, but my windows
Wretched
not open
being.
right now. It's kind of nighttime. Alright. Infection most commonly occurs as a result of direct skin contact with one or more egg sacs. These egg sacs are covered with microscopic hooks similar to those on the cuticles of the same species of nematode, or some species of nematode, which anchor the sacs to the skin's surface. Contact with sebum then prompts the eggs inside to hatch, at which time the larvae seek out and burrow into one or more nearby hair follicles. Once inside the follicle, the larva attaches itself to the base of the papilla and begins feeding off of the capillaries supplying the papilla. Over the course of 2 to 3 days, the larva grows larger and develops into an adult. When it has fully matured, the new adult detaches from the papilla and severs the hair fiber from the root, and almost fully envelops the papilla and hair matrix. From this point forward, the worm feeds on the cells shed by the hair matrix, which would normally form the hair fiber, and begins to grow longer. Adult SCP-189 specimens grow only in length, excluding a tail, which incorporates some of the pigments and keratin from the cells they consume into an outer cuticle. This, combined with the fact that the diameter of a specimen's tail is usually similar to that of the hair that would normally grow from the host follicle, causes SCP-189 to be visually indistinguishable from a normal hair, except upon microscopic inspection. However, some specimens will occasionally flex, coil, and uncoil, and or lash their tail, particularly in response to tactile stimulation. The reason for this behavior is not currently understood, nor is why some individuals behave in this fashion, although it has been proposed that redacted. As with many other species of roundworms, SCP-189 is hermaphroditic, with both sets of genitalia contained in the head, the portion enveloping the papilla and hair matrix. Fertilized eggs are produced in groups of 1 to 3 and envelop in a protective egg sac, which is then incorporated into the growing tail. Egg sacs grow their microscopic hooks, and the eggs typically mature by the time the portion of the tail containing them has extended approximately 1 millimeter beyond the surface of the host skin. Once fully developed, the egg sac passes to the exterior of the organism's tail, becoming loosely embedded in its cuticle. At this point, if the egg sac is brought into contact with a suitable host surface, including the skin of its current host, it attaches to this surface and is pulled free from its parent. This is the primary method of SCP-189's uses both to infect new hosts and further infest the current host. The tail of an adult specimen of SCP-189 is no more durable than normal hair, and its head no more strongly attached to the host follicle. The tail can be cut or broken, or the entire organism pulled out, by any method that would similarly affect hair. Severed sections of an adult's tail can grow a new head and regenerate into a separate individual, but only if they can attach to a suitable host. The death of a follicle infested by an adult SCP-189 or any other event that would cause the loss of that follicle's hair causes that individual to detach from its host. Without a host, adult SCP-189 die within 1 to 6 hours. Mature eggs can remain viable for up to redacted years after the death of their parent, and as such, even dead adults can present a risk of infestation. When an infected host dies, any surviving adult specimens of 189 continue to feed and grow, eventually burrowing into the host's tissues. Once decay begins, however, the specimen is killed by the toxins produced. Addendum. SCP-189 was first discovered and redacted when Dr. Redacted, then unaffiliated with the Foundation, traveled to a remote area of the redacted rainforest as part of a 6-month biodiversity survey. Dr. Redacted brought Kara, his 3-year-old pet golden retriever, along with him on the expedition. It seems likely that the dog was first infested sometime during this trip. Regardless of when the infestation began, by the time Dr. Redacted and Kara returned to the United States, it is believed that over 80% of the animal's follicles had been infested by SCP-189. Approximately redacted days after his return, Dr. Redacted was petting Kara when the dog's fur began to move. Recognizing the abnormal nature of the infestation, Dr. Redacted contacted Dr. Redacted, a parasitologist, with an invitation to study the newly discovered organism. It was when Doctors Redacted and Redacted submitted a paper on SCP-189 for publication that the Foundation became aware of its existence and immediately took Doctors Redacted and Redacted into custody and seized all of their research materials. Both doctors were later recruited into the Foundation, with Dr. Redacted becoming the lead researcher in charge of SCP-189 and currently stationed in Redacted, investigating indigenous populations of SCP-189 for possible containment or eradication. Addendum 2. Since the Foundation first became aware of SCP-189, there have been redacted incidents of infestation outside the Foundation, resulting in redacted humans and redacted animals confirmed infected in various parts of the world. Continued monitoring is warranted to ensure that such incidents do not come to the attention of the general public. I have a question. What part of it was actually anomalous?
Bug.
I mean, it's a bug, yeah, but no part of this is like that outside of the realm of possibility for like a normal parasite. It's bad that it can infect humans and pets, but like I didn't think the Foundation just contained bad things. They contained anomalous things.
What
No
SCP?
idea. 189.
Oh, I love 189. What's 189 again?
That's what I fucking thought.
Parasite hair molecules or follicles.
Hair
It's a
molecule,
parasite
incredible.
that grabs onto your hair, eats it, and then replaces it.
Oh,
Really quite
great. The thing I had nightmares about when I was a child. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
But like, I don't understand what's anomalous about it.
There weren't really. I mean, is the idea that it's just like actually sentient hair, effectively? But no, its taxonomy is similar to a fucking worm.
Yeah, it's
Sentient
not like
hair.
unnormal. It's not like, oh, it can live through like a million explosions. It's like not invincible. It's not like it survives off of nothing. It's not like it directly like. That's a question I have for a lot of SCPs is like, where is the actual anomaly? It's weird,
Where's the
sure.
fucking line?
It's weird, but it's not a statue that like only moves when you're not looking at it. Maybe they had to contain it because otherwise it could very easily, since it has like no natural predators, breed through like it could infect every living human if left unchecked.
Does it like perfectly replace like the function of hair?
I don't think so. I mean, what's the function of hair in this instance?
Okay, so like regulating the heat of a creature, does it like still help with that?
That's true because fur and hair are different things.
Yeah, and like this thing is it just like visually the same? Or
Does it scream when you go underwater?
It can just move. So like I imagine the guy was like I'm imagining a cartoon now actually where somebody's trying to cut someone's hair and the hair just keeps like moving away from the scissors like fucking Luffy.
I'm personally led to believe that it's something that's contained for the sake of like the general public.
Yeah,
just
like,
to keep them from going fucking apeshit.
Like we don't contain lice.
I mean, yeah, but
Maybe it's lice resistant, and that's why they don't want it going out.
Lice suck, but lice are more acceptable than my hair's fucking moving.
Yeah. Alright, is that enough where you
So,
can take
anyways,
over
I just
again?
got fired.
Of course.
Rest in peace.
That person I mentioned about returned, and with it, several people are getting fired.
Of course. The one that didn't
We will
bathe, you
not-
mean? Or
Yes,
how the
yes.
fuck did they win?
Apparently, they have a medical condition that was underlooked, so by law, we were forced to rehire them.
Okay. So why were you all fired as opposed to whatever? Fuck it.
Oh, there's like
This
a
is a
layer of
discussion for
snow
stream.
outside.
This is a discussion for after stream.
Yeah,
But yeah,
we're
that
trying to
happened.
do
That's why I'm
SCP
here.
reading right
That's
now.
that's why I'm here for SCP reading.
Are you taking this one over,
Welcome.
Mord?
Uh,
This would be my 4th safe article in a row.
another. You missed the fucking mother of articles for a while. That was long, but it's a really good article.
So are you reading this one, or?
Give me a sec.
Alright.
Have you guys done 999 yet?
No.
We're approaching 200. We're going sequentially.
Yeah. For
Oh
the most
God.
part.
Okay.
Ugh. We've read like a crazy amount of articles already.
We've read almost 200 articles, and honestly, they've been pretty solid.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a
there
few
are
that piss
some
me
that
off, but like I am glad we decided to do this because we're reading a lot that like I am
Crap.
genuinely like that was nice. Never heard of that
Why
article
sun pain?
otherwise. But
Okay. Item number SCP-190. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-190 is to be kept in Security Locker 23 at Site 41. Children under the age of 10 are not allowed within 50 meters, goddammit, of SCP-190 except under testing conditions. All
I see.
personnel
It's not
working
allowed
at...
to be put near a school.
Yeah, that. Also, welcome back, Rich.
I've been here.
I know. Welcome back, Rich. All personnel working at Site 41 are to be made aware of SCP-190's secondary effect and its innocuous nature. Personnel transfer requests made due to SCP-190's secondary effect are to be expedited, unless doing so would violate the special containment procedures for another item. All individuals who have directly interacted with SCP-190 are to be monitored indefinitely for long-term side effects. Description: SCP-190 is a carved wooden box banded with iron, measuring 50 by 70 50 by 70 by 35 centimeters. The lid is carved with a representation of a large circus tent with an open central panel, within which stands a figure dressed as a stereotypical ringmaster. That's highlighted in red. Fantastic. Open it for later, Helix.
sure. One moment.
I.
We
Okay.
can do this real quick.
That's cute.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh. Oh. Oh no. Oh no.
Okay. We might need to skip out of them.
This might be like a bonus kind of thing.
I'll be honest. I don't think it's a
This is a-
bonus week
This
of
is a
nonstop
couple
streaming.
bonus streams.
I think this is
Uh,
just okay.
This is a read it
This
yourself
is
kind
a
of deal.
collection, is what this is.
But
This is all based around Herman Fuller's Circus of the Disquieting. We can read this part.
yes.
I will read the not dissertation. I will read the blurb on it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the greatest show on
do
earth.
the other part. Do the other part.
Roll up, roll up.
Yeah, you do that.
Okay, cool. Anyways, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the greatest show on earth. Welcome to Herman Fuller's Circus of the Disquieting. The circus is, first and foremost, a show. The show. Those in its employment live to perform, to regale the audience with their talents. When the circus comes to town, no one quite understands where they came from or how they managed to put up that tent without anyone seeing it. Officials are baffled by the sudden existence of a big top and the associated caravans, trailers, and wagons. But strangely enough, the paperwork always seems to be in order. And of course, once they attend the show, they lose any misgivings they might have. Because, after all, it is the greatest show on earth. The circus treats its performers, be they tightrope walkers consisting of only legs, tentacled things that gibber and squeal, or clowns with the tears of 1,000 dead stars in their eyes, as valuable assets. The circus is a family, and family stays together. So come watch the show. Come feel the magic. After all, what do you have to lose? Now,
Yeah.
I really like that. I really just wish the formatting was a little better because it's leaking off of the poster,
Yeah.
the
Shapes the
text.
clown.
Oh god.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, the
Yeah, no.
exploding man.
Oh god. Oh man, this would be a stream unto itself. Oh, this would be fantastic.
Blood, gore,
We
guts,
Helix, I
viscera.
think we need to come back to this.
That's fair. That's fair.
This could be real funny. Maybe if you want, you could like sift through and see if there's a couple that would be questionable, just in case. But
And we could figure
I
that out
doubt
as we
it.
go.
I doubt it. But
Yeah, there's just a lot to this.
yeah, there's okay. No, those are just raw links to other SCPs. Cool. Get it away from me.
We could do a deep dive into Herman Fuller's disquieting circus another time.
Yeah. The carvings on the side okay, so to reiterate, the SCP-190 itself is just a carved wooden box with the image of a ringmaster. The carvings on the side consists of assorted animals typically associated with circuses, including lions, tigers, bears, elephants, and horses. These carvings move at a maximum observed rate of approximately 5 millimeters per day, and time-lapse monitoring indicates that the depicted creatures appear to be acting in a non-violent play behavior with each other. When an individual 10 or older opens the hinged lid, SCP-190 contains 17 marbles of assorted size and color, 2 sticks of lightly used green sidewalk chalk, and 1 deck of bicycle brand playing cards. These objects can be manipulated within the confines of SCP-190, but cannot be removed from it. Attempts to remove these objects encounter an otherwise undetectable and penetrable barrier stretching across the opening to the box. Individuals 10 or older who interact with SCP-190 or its contents typically report feelings of unease or discomfort until they cease interacting with them. When an individual under the age of 10 opens SCP-190, it will contain 1 to 5 toys or games intended for use by children. Observed objects include stuffed animals, rubber balls, yo-yos, dolls, blocks, and simple board games. These objects can be freely removed from SCP-190 by any prepubescent individual, although attempts by pubescent or post-pubescent encounter the same barrier described above. The objects typically possess a circus theme, depicting classic circus animals, venues, performers, and design schemes containing red, gold, white, stars, and the initials HF. Children in the appropriate age range express great pleasure and excitement when playing with SCP-190 or the objects it produces, regardless of prior attitudes regarding toys or games of that type. Children exhibit more energetic play behavior than they normally do, as well as more physical activities such as somersaults, cartwheels, climbing nearby objects, and simple 1 and 2 object juggling. Most play behaviors include incidental elements of causing harm to other people, especially those older than themselves. All objects produced by SCP-190 are capable of causing extreme damage, regardless of their composition. Representative samples below. Object produced by SCP-190 vanish if placed back within it, and the lid is closed.
Oh.
Okay. He looks if you would. So it goes the toy or game, and then who uses it, and then the result. So, first one is a red and white striped rubber ball with a gold star on one end. It was used by an 8-year-old male, bounced against the wall 37 times prior to throwing it at a supervisor junior researcher. The wall had noticeable shallow dents where it had been struck. The junior researcher suffered 2 cracked ribs and significant soft tissue bruising where she had been struck. Child expressed disappointment that the junior researcher didn't throw the ball back. Fun. Okay. Stuffed elephant made of felt, measuring 65 centimeters in height, wearing a red and gold saddle with the initials HF embroidered on the sides. This was played with by a 4-year-old female, moving the toys if it were walking. The child made trumpeting noises before making it step on the foot of the supervisory D class. D class's foot suffered multiple complex bone fractures and hemorrhaging, consistent with a crush injury. Child chided D class for getting in the way of the toy. See the Big Top, a game of similar design to the 2004 edition of Candyland. 6-year-old male begged Supervisor D class to play game until D class was ordered to do so by the researchers. Child lost game and threw cards at D class in anger. D class suffered deep paper cuts to the face, hands, and forearms, requiring multiple bandages. Child hugged D class after completion of the game and asked if she would receive Batman adhesive bandages to make the boo-boos better. Yeah, I'm sure he did. Or she, sorry. He looks like he's still alive.
Yeah.
Alright, cool, just making sure. Tin container labeled Junior Clown Kit, containing 30 grams, 1 ounce, of clown white grease paint, 2 red jumbo makeup pencils, 2 yellow/gold makeup pencils, and a small hand mirror. A 7-year-old female decorated own face and that of supervisory D class. D class suffered mild chemical burns where makeup had made contact with skin and developed persistent allergy to lanolin. Child wasn't harmed. Lacquer finished red wooden rod resembling a miniature version of SCP 2024. Okay. 9-year-old female touched various furnishings around the room, including the supervising D class's arm. D class's arm tied in a knot. Child commented on D class's improved physical appearance. The fuck? After initial testing ceased following the determination of baseline properties, an additional property became apparent. If SCP-190 and its contents have not been used by a child under the age of 10 for 29.5 consecutive days, okay, faint calliope music will be audible to all individuals within 50 meters of SCP-190. This music appears to act as a mild cognitohazard, wherein children under the age of 10 will seek out SCP-190 if they are aware of its existence. Long-term monitoring of individuals who have interacted with SCP-190, as children reveal that they are approximately 4 Why is... Okay. Long-term monitoring of individuals who interacted with SCP-190 as children reveal that they are approximately 4 times more likely than age peers to become performers once they are adults, either professionally or as a primary hobby. Typical examples include acrobatics, magic/sleight of hand, animal training, and improvisational oratory and acting. Subjects do not otherwise display statistically significant behavioral abnormalities. Neat.
Yeah, that was not bad.
Yeah, it's simple enough, but
It's only
it introduced
vaguely
us to
related to this in the way that, like, it does
no,
mention
but
him.
it did in fact introduce us to HF. So you know, there's not a Y in that though. Damn it! What the fuck?
I mean, this one isn't too long as of now. Why are we getting so many safes? Would you like another, or shall I take this one?
Read.
What?
Read.
Oh, okay, that was just like really quiet in the distance. I couldn't even tell if it was you or like a bridge or someone.
Read.
Great.
Stop!
No.
Item number SCP-191. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-191 is currently housed in a 6 meter by 6 meter room at Site 17. To date, SB-191 has not made any requests for furnishings or entertainment. Current furnishings include one wooden bed frame futon with a 15-centimeter pad and standard cotton bed sheets and blankets. All sheets are to be sterilized each morning according to standard procedures. The futon pad itself will be replaced every 6 months and the old pad discarded through incineration. One standard 2020 V-type GU power outlet with an emergency cutoff box, fuse, circuit breaker, and manual non-insulating guillotine. Located outside the cell. One standard hazardous waste disposal unit, liquid and solid waste. All drainage tubes shall lead directly to an incinerator unit. SB-191 is to be dressed in loose, sleeveless garments made of 100% long staple cotton. Fresh clothing will be provided once daily, with used garments sterilized according to standard procedures. Bathing is to be done once every evening, in a wash tub filled with a solution of water and baking soda. Feeding, in the form of a sterile saline solution supplemented with vitamins, minerals, antibiotics, and a mild anesthetic, shall be carried out twice a day via injection into a metallic tube at the base of the neck. SB-191 is capable of limited self-care, including draining waste and recharging internal batteries. A log shall be kept of power consumption and any unusual changes in power usage reported by supervising staff. Daily inspections for injury should be carried out after bathing. Should SB-191 require medical care, refer to documents 191 Alpha, Special Medical Needs, and 191 Alpha Supplemental, Repair of Non-Biological Components before administering care. At least 2 armed guards are to be present in the room at any time that personnel have contact with SB-191, although a translucent screen may be utilized for privacy purposes. Standard anti-computer countermeasures are ineffective, as SB-191's components have been hardened against electromagnetic pulse, EMP. There's an ad break, so I'll wait a few moments. So far, I'd say the favorite SCP today was just 186.
Yeah. No, 186 is just a very, very well written one, I think.
Yeah, I think DJ Cactus is a fantastic author, and I can't wait to read more from them.
Brother has earned the recognition.
Yeah. SCP-191 is a female human child, approximately redacted years old. It is believed to have been a test subject of several experimental surgeries performed by the late Dr. Redacted. See below. 1. 80% of the left half of the face and skull have been removed, with the eye and ear replaced by a complex transceiver system that allows it to receive and transmit not only visual and auditory input, but a wider spectrum of electromagnetic radiation ranging from low-frequency radio to high-energy gamma rays. The lower jaw, teeth, and larynx have been removed and replaced with redacted. The esophagus has been rerouted to an artificial orifice at the back of the neck, feeding tube, and the trachea rerouted directly to an air filtration device. Due to these alterations, SB-191 is incapable of speech, although it has been reported occasionally vocalizing distress through rapid respiration. An input-output device has been placed into the right forearm, replacing the radius and ulna bones. The device contains interfaces for a variety of modern and obsolete formats, including USB, Ethernet, FireWire, and DIN 8-pin, as well as 7 other interfaces corresponding to no known formats. The device can be accessed by pulling back the skin over the right arm like a shirt sleeve. 3. A 24-core processor array has been implanted in the brain, which translates input from all artificial components, essentially allowing SB-191 to read and write complex computer data without the use of an external interface. Internal communications is carried out through fiber optic cables implanted through the glial cells and the entire nervous system. Damage to the brainstem and cerebellum due to the implantation procedure has severely damaged SB-191's motor skills. The right hand and right foreleg have been replaced with artificial components consisting primarily of steel, carbon fiber, and an unknown polymer-like substance. The exposed areas of tissue are susceptible to injury and infection. Due to damage to the spinothalamic tract, SB-191 has reduced pain and temperature sensitivity in its limbs. Reconstructive surgery by Dr. Redacted was able to provide some relief, but regular doses of antibiotics and analgesics are still required. 5. Data expunged. 6. The lungs, heart, and major blood vessels have been replaced with mechanical analogs. It has been determined that this system would allow SB-191's bodily systems to be restarted after death and may have actually redacted. The digestive system has been completely reconfigured to the point where regular food intake is both unnecessary and dangerous. Waste is now disposed of via a drainage system located in the lower back and consists of a thick, dark gray, viscous slime consisting primarily of redacted. 8. The reproductive organs, uterus, ovaries, etc., have been removed and replaced with redacted. According to Redacted's notes, this was done to provide extra space by removing non-vital components. Hormone therapy has been proposed to counteract the long-term effects of the missing glands. This proposal is under review and pending analysis of possible complications due to redacted. What's the point of a robot you can't fuck?
Damn it!
9. Data expunged. 10. At least 15 other alterations of unknown purpose. Given this fact and the haphazard integration of the useful components, it is believed that they were performed merely to test the viability of such procedures on other subjects. Investigations are underway as whether Dr. Redacted was planning to redacted. At present, any theories as to the purpose behind these alterations are speculative at best, as Dr. Redacted died during the raid in which SB-191 was recovered. See notes below. And the only surviving records of his research are a single, half-burned, spiral-bound notebook consisting mostly of cryptic notes regarding a higher purpose. History. SCP-191 was recovered by Foundation agents during a brief collaborative effort with the GOC, in which a raid was conducted on the laboratory of Dr. Redacted, a suspected member of Redacted. SCP-191 was the only test subject recovered from the laboratory. All other test subjects expired during the raid, either disposed of by Dr. Redacted or eliminated as hostiles by the task force. Preliminary assessment concluded that full reconstruction was impossible, that the components introduced were too technologically advanced to risk becoming widely known, and that it could be a source of valuable data regarding Redacted if kept alive. Subject was classified SB-191 and moved to site Redacted on Redacted. Its disappearance and those of other test subjects was later blamed on a local serial killer who was arranged to be killed in prison while awaiting trial. Addendum 191-1. Testing of SCP-191's abilities has commenced. I'll read that after this note. Psychological analysis by Dr. Glass. SCP-191 has responded fairly well to containment. It is completely docile and cooperative. When not being interfaced with, it spends most of its time sitting, still, or curled up in a fetal position. This may be a sign of distress, but is more likely for physical comfort, as normal body movements and postures are difficult. Mental acuity is questionable. Although capable of rapid data analysis and communications when physically linked to a computer system, it seems unable to follow conversations with human beings unless the conversant speaks slowly and uses simple words. Complex tasks are also impossible unless it is guided at every step. Its mood seems consistent, though somewhat inscrutable. It continually affects melancholy while not making eye contact unless asked to do so. And any attempts to induce a cheerful or humorous mood have proven fruitless. However, it shows no signs of ongoing mental distress and claims through computer interface that it is feeling well. To date, SCP-191 has not requested access to or information about any acquaintance it had before its abduction. What is this?
Neat.
Experiment log. Okay, this seems relevant. Note: this is a test log for exploring the capabilities of SCP-191. Please remember that SCP-191 is a research tool, not an entertainment center. Any test involving games or other recreational technology should be conducted in a professional manner and not for amusement. Dr. Redacted. Subject: Redacted Paint, a ubiquitous, simple drawing program. Instructions: interface with a computer via USB port and draw specified pictures using Redacted Paint. Results. SB191 was able to instantly emulate the functions of a mouse and keyboard. When showed any photograph, 191 was able to reproduce it within seconds using only the pencil tool, creating copies indistinguishable from the original. After the test was recorded, it was noticed that SB191 had continued drawing in additional paint files. SB191 appeared surprised and opened a text file on screen claiming that it had not realized it was still drawing. The following drawings were discovered. 3 people wearing what appear to be GOC uniforms standing in a burning office, pointing guns at a man across the room. The man is committing suicide via gunshot wound to the head, his face obscured by blood. Agent Redacted, who participated in the raid in which SB191 was acquired, identified this as the death of Dr. Redacted, SB191's creator. An adult and child trick-or-treating. The child is a girl wearing makeup similar to that worn by Boris Karloff in Frankenstein, and the adult redacted. Data expunged. SB191 was once again asked if it was really feeling well, and once again replied via text file that it was fine, and that the redacted didn't mean anything. Alright. Subject. The video game. Redacted. Instructions. Attempt to emulate the functions of a Wiimote and play a video game. Result. Test began poorly as SB191's impaired motor skills caused it to snap the disc in two before it could place it in the console. SB191 became distressed. It then stared at the disc and the red light from its eye changed to green for a moment. When Dr. Redacted returned with a fresh disc, less than 2 minutes had passed, the game was already running on the machine. Dr. Redacted inquired as to how that happened, and a message appeared on the screen saying, "I looked at the ones and the zeros and I loaded those in. I'm sorry, I know I'm not supposed to do it this way, but I didn't want you to waste a disk. Please don't be angry." SCP-191 still seemed fearful of reprimand even after being reassured that it was doing excellently. SCP-191 made a perfect run-through of the game, despite the fact that it did not make any physical movements consistent with the Wii controls.
You're doing great, sweetie.
She's just a Taz. She's just a tool-assisted speedrun. Fuck.
That fucking go.
I like this one so far. That's so cute.
I break it in.
I broke it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
I promise I'll get one record.
I'll PB, I promise. Subject, Redacted, a well-known video effects program. A 40-second video file from a security camera located in the employee cafeteria. Instructions. Perform a series of video enhancement techniques used by forensic detectives on the popular television drama, I'm assuming FBI or something. Techniques that cannot actually be done in reality. Zoom and enhance. SCP-191 was instructed to zoom in on the window over the parking lot and render the license plates on the cars, which were illegible from this distance. The actual
NCI.
license plates have been photographed for reference. Uncrop. SCP-191 was asked to shrink the video by 100 px on every side and fill in the blank space with what it believed the rest of the cafeteria looked like. Again, data that was not actually available in the video. Rotate camera. SCP-191 was informed of the exact location and angle of the other security camera in the cafeteria and asked to render the scene as viewed from that angle, filling in the parts that the current camera did not see. The actual footage and the second camera were requisitioned and held for reference. Result. SCP-191 could not understand the instructions at first. Dr. Redacted had to provide a lengthy explanation and then stand behind SCP-191 to give it instructions one step at a time. It was several minutes before the test could even begin. However, once SCP-191 actually got started, the videos and frames were finished in less than 7 minutes, of which at least 3 were spent watching the rendering progress bar.
Huh.
Zoom and enhance test. Subject 1 or SCP-191 successfully rendered close-ups of the license plates complete with photorealistic scratches and dents. However, the plates are found not to match the license plates on the vehicles. SCP-191 typed, "The data wasn't there, so I had to guess." The actual license plates were redacted, and redacted. The license plates generated by SCP-191 were I am 191. 191 ISA is or no, is a 600 DMA and Chi 930.
Does that say?
I'm
anything?
trying to. I'm not understanding that it says anything. I don't understand. Okay. Uncrop test. Sorry, uncrop test. SCP-191 expanded the video canvas and filling it in with was the blank space, rendering the extra image seamlessly. It did not match the actual cafeteria, but once again, the data was not in the video file and SCP-191 had been forced to guess. Rotate camera test. The generated video matched the angle of the second camera perfectly, and almost everything visible from the angle of C1 matched the scene in C2 very closely. As before, places not visible were very different. One table only visible in C2 that had been seating redacted was now, in the generated video, seating Dr. Redacted and Agent Redacted, the attending doctor and supervising SCP-191, eating lunch and talking. A lip reader was brought in to decipher what Dr. Redacted and Agent Redacted were saying in the simulation video. Data expunged. The real Dr. Redacted became uncomfortable upon learning what SCP-191 had depicted her saying to Agent Redacted. The real Agent Redacted declined to comment. This is a good use of redaction. I like that.
What do you want me to fucking say about it?
It was just like, I'm imagining it was like a love confession or some stupid shit, and they asked her about this. She was like, "Oh, this
her
is
trying to be-
preposterous. This is insane." And then the other lady was like, "Oh."
Her trying to subtly make hints, and he's like, "Fucking, what do you want me to say about this? I don't know." He still doesn't get it.
Although there were many visual differences between the original videos and SCP-191's copies, many on-site personnel were unable to determine which ones were forgeries.
Yeah.
That's
fun.
fair. I like this one. This one was nice.
Yeah.
Alright, alright, I have to go back because this was an experiment log. Oh. Another safe! Oh my god, god damn it. Oh, save again. Why is it
Gonna
always
be it for
safe?
stream, guys.
Do we end stream here, or do we keep going for a little? I'm unsure. I'm kind of done with reading for today.
You got a coin handy?
Yeah, I'm saying we pick it up next time.
This was good though.
Yeah, we got some good ones in.
Like I don't think there were any that weren't at least decent.
Yeah. Alright. That'll be it for stream today, guys. Goodbye.
But